Hello folks, welcome to Growth Grad. In this video, we are going to take a look at how to choose the right platform for your ads. So let's get started. Well, to choose the right platform, first thing that we need to do is research. Research about what? So with the 3U framework that we have covered in other videos, we need to research about understanding the products, services, and our own business, what kind of products and services that we are dealing with, and who will require that is the target audience, and the competition, what kind of platforms the competition is running the ads on. Is it LinkedIn, is it Google, is it Meta, or something like that, right? There can be other platforms as well, but we will explore these three platforms in terms of our decision making in this video. Apart from this, there is also one more thing that you will need to consider in terms of the principle of marketing. It's push versus pull based marketing. So push based marketing is basically where you are interrupting a user experience, right? For example, your Meta, your LinkedIn, Instagram, you're scrolling reels, suddenly an ad comes and it interrupts your experience of the organic content and then sells you a product. So it's a push based marketing. While on the other hand, you are out there in the market, which is in terms of this case, Google search, you are typing your user query and then the ads are shown to you of products which can help you with your query. That is pull based. We are pulling the intent. So based on your service, based on the products that you're selling, you'll be able to identify push and pull wherever it is needed, and you can then select the platform which can provide that. You can use multiple platforms as well, there's no harm, but this is just to take an example. So as you can see, there are two different types of ads over here. One is push, one is pull, but essentially the intent is to capture a traffic of somebody looking for weight loss, right? So that's the example over here. So now, apart from this, what are the factors that we can consider in terms of selection of the platform, right? So first thing is understanding what users think on the platform or about the platform, right? So as you can see, these are certain screenshots. By the way, this data, you can find this data is from Social Sprout. You can find many such data points on the internet to take your decision. In this case, for example, how users want to show, wants brand to show up on LinkedIn, share educational content, right? So if you're in that B2B segment where you have to educate your audience, LinkedIn is a good option, of course, right? Then if you're planning to think of YouTube, then you have to think if your ad and content and products and services can relate to entertaining content, right? So that is the kind of user mentality. This also gives you a data point in terms of what kind of ad messaging and ad creative that you can go with, what kind of funnel that you can design, because this is what users are looking for as per the survey, right? Apart from that, you need to think of user mentality when they are on the platform. If it is Facebook or Instagram, which is consisting under the term name of Meta, scroll, discover, impulse, reacts. So that's what a user mentality is, right? They are not specifically looking to be educated or want information or something like that. They are just there to be entertained. You have to hook them, you have to grab them, and then pitch your product or service, right? Then you have Google, in which a user is actively searching. So the intent is very, very high, depending on the type of keyword that you go for: middle of the funnel, top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel keyword, right? Based on that, you can capture their intent and provide them with the right kind of user experience that they are looking for on your website, and then push them towards whatever conversion that you want to drive. Then you have LinkedIn, where the professional context is primarily available. There is a B2B lens over there, so business to business exchanges. So if your products and service fit into that category, then LinkedIn can be a platform in terms of user mentality selection, right? So you need to identify push and pull based marketing. You need to do your research. You need to see some data points in terms of the consumption of information and how the people of the platform want the brands to be, what is the user mentality, and then demographic data use as well, right? So for example, if you are trying to sell a product to an older audience versus Instagram, Facebook can be a better bet, right? But if you want to target Gen Z, then maybe Instagram or even Threads can be a good option now, right? So these are the identification points. Again, you can find on the internet using research. These screenshots are from Satistia group, so you can find more reports related to that over there as well, right? So once you have that, you need to also consider in terms your things, your marketing plan in terms of budgets, right? So Meta, Google, LinkedIn, there are other platforms as well, and every platform has a different cost associated to it. From my experience, Meta has one of the lowest cost. Google can also go very low, but it depends on the industry, on the product and services that you're going for. Because if the competition is very high, CPCs will tend to be very, very high. If there are certain, like I have worked in certain industries where there was almost no competition, so the cost per click was extremely cheap and we were able to get good results. Same goes for Meta as well. If you're, let's say, in female fashion, your CPMs will be very high, right? If you're like a generic product. So these things you'll have to consider, but still, Meta is a better bet in terms of budgets needed to get started. Google varies depending on the competition, and LinkedIn is by far one of the most expensive platforms out of the three that I have used for bottom of the funnel, that is lead generation and all these things, right? So there is also another thing that you need to consider apart from the ad spend is also your flexibility in terms of the creative output, right? So if you don't have resources that can create ads and create beautiful videos, etc., then Facebook and Instagram may not work the best for you, right? The platform behavior is changing. More and more reel based content consumption is increasing. People are getting more creative because of the competition. So the scope is very, very much, very, very big to be creative and capture user attention, but at the same time it gets a bit difficult, so you need to invest over there, right? Then you have Google, where if you're only optimizing on search and shopping based placements, then you can go heavily with the text and optimizing your feed listing, right? You don't necessarily need heavy creative work over here. You need to be very sharp with your text ads and the keyword selection. And then you have LinkedIn, where you don't need as much of a creative refresh as it is required on Meta, as per my experience. But still, in LinkedIn also you need creatives, but they don't necessarily have to be as crazy as Meta, right? Because LinkedIn is costly. Not a lot of platform comes here. Brands come here to compete, and at the same time, the user also are habituated in terms of looking at something which is more quiet in a way. So in a way, you can stand out on LinkedIn if you have something bold or something that stands out. So standing out on LinkedIn is comparatively easy, right? But yeah, it costs high and it does not have that much of a creative load versus Meta in this case, right? So how do you actually go about selecting the platform? Well, here is a channel creation matrix for you. So this is a matrix that I typically use in terms of the channel selection. Let me just show it to you completely. Yeah. So audience type, B2B, B2C, D2C, creators. B2B can also be done, but expecting lead generation for high level B2B on Meta, you may not get a lot of quality leads, right? You may get some interactions, so it's good for that. But if a B2B user is there on Meta, which they are, right? They are also using Facebook and Instagram, but they are having a different mentality as we saw, right? So you need to be very smart with your B2B approach. But if you are into B2B, then LinkedIn and Google can be really, really good for you. Apart from that, you need to keep the user mindset in test, the funnel stage that you're going for, the funnel types. We have covered in one video different types of sales funnels. I will link it over here. You can check that video out also, so that you will have a better understanding of different traffic and nurture platforms that we can utilize. Then we have creative load that you need to consider, and your capability as a brand or as a performance marketer, whatever is available to you. Ad cost, I have specifically mentioned related to India, but typically it stays the same in terms of the range country wise. Targeting strength, what kind of targeting flexibility that you have on these platforms, complexity in terms of tracking. But anyways, these are the things that you will have to do. Learning curve, if you're new to the platform, which one are easy to get started with. And then scalability, if that is a factor that you're looking for, then again you need to consider these things. But in terms of getting started, these are the things that you can choose, you can take a look at and take your decision in terms of platform selection. So I hope you like this video. It was compact and informative related to the platforms selection. But still, if you have any questions, feel free to comment, like this video and share it with your friends so that they are also aware on which platforms to use, and subscribe to GrowthGrad to stay on the journey of performance marketing, growth, and AI. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.